Hey guys, Jim here again, and this week we're looking at Module 5, Thing 20, and looking at whether we should flip or not flip our classrooms. Some of you have probably been in flipped classrooms before in a high school setting or college setting, and maybe some of you even have your own thoughts on whether you like the flipped idea or not. And I think it also has a lot to do with what content area you expect to go into. So, basics of a flip, what does it mean? Well, let's look at some of the benefits. In a flipped classroom, you usually are having the students do their homework, their assignment, their classwork, whatever you want to call it, in class. You've given them direction at home, and so the next day they can come in and they can work on things. So the benefit of that is that they can get your help while they're trying to do it. If you think about perhaps when you were in a math class or something, and your teacher gave you the direction and you get home and you try to do the homework and you're like, I can't figure this out at all. Well, flip that around and you would be in the classroom while you're trying to do that assignment and the instructor could help you. So you have more class time. You're not spending the whole time doing the direction and you have more time to actually get some work done, as you might want to call it. It works good for absent students. If you have a flipped classroom, the directions that you're giving in video can go home with the student. It can be posted on Classroom, whatever it is, and absent students can really kind of be caught up as well. This is good for helicopter parents. All the parents that, I don't know how many times I get emails from parents that say, I don't know how to do the assignment that you gave little Billy. And realistically, they probably shouldn't know how to do it because they weren't in class to hear all the directions. This way, they would hear all the directions because they would see the same content that the little Billy sees in the video. It can be very engaging. Students like to look at short videos. They're watching short videos all day long. And the key to this, again, is you are keeping it a short video, shorter than my videos usually are to you guys. This makes your administrator happy. When we talk about it, using technology, trying to look like you're cutting edge, this a lot of times will make administrators happy that you're doing something besides stand and deliver in front of your class. You're doing it a bit different way. Downfalls. Technology access for all the students. As I've been into this a bit longer and I've talked to more and more young teachers who are in different districts all over the place, I am finding this is less of a problem. It seems that even some of our less well-off districts are still not necessarily one-to-one, but at least they have a fairly steady access to a technology. And a lot of students have at least some kind of technology access on their phones. But it is still an issue. If you're going to have a video that's sent home that they're expected to access, they have to have a way to access it. And so they would at least have to have some sort of smartphone device to do that on. Sometimes I have a colleague who does this, and he ends up having to burn DVDs of his instruction each night, which is quite a time-consuming process, but that's how he overcomes part of that problem. Students who just don't do it. They won't look at the video at home, so they get to class and they have no idea what they're supposed to be doing. So essentially, you have to give the directions all over again for those students, and that can be pretty counterproductive when you're actually losing time in class that way. Changing material can be difficult because you spend a lot of time making the video, creating the work that goes with it in a flawless way, and then next year the standards change, or next year you're teaching 8th grade instead of 7th grade, and it's a real time-consuming process all over again to change your material. Sometimes it's harder to get those aha moments because you're not there to set up the timing and to see in their eyes when they're ready to be given the aha moments. Like when you work in front of a class, you work very hard to build anticipation, to build input, to build buy-in from the students before you sometimes give them that last piece of evidence that really triggers their brain. And that can be quite hard to do on a video sometimes. So then there's a blended classroom. Blended classrooms you certainly have done. That's when you have a fairly regular classroom, and then you do some online material with it. That could have been in the past, it could have been something like Study Island. It could have been IXL. It could have been Edgenuity. Could have been all kinds of different programs that people use to supplement their classrooms. There are a lot of benefits of this as well. It's, again, good for absent students. They can access that, at least get that part of it done at home or caught up that way. It still helps helicopter parents because they can watch this at home. They can be engaged at home and they can help. They're still not getting everything that you said in the classroom, but at least they're getting part of it. It, again, can be engaging. Sometimes they have a good way to engage students online, whether it's, the drawings, the cartoons, the music, the way it's set up. Is it like a game? Is it, something that's a little bit different? Do they play in teams or tandem or something like that? And those things can all be engaging for students. Again, makes your administrator happy because you're doing something other than just stand and deliver with a textbook in your hand. And then some of the downfalls, again, the technology access, probably to a lesser degree, because they can probably still get access in the school, at least, which is where I see most of the technology is available. And changing material can be difficult as well, but to a lesser degree, because a lot of these things are already produced. So if I'm teaching 8th grade social studies this year, and I go back to 7th grade social studies the next year, if I'm using IXL, it's really a matter of changing, a couple clicks of the button of what assignments get sent out. That's not quite as hard as in a real flipped classroom. I have a colleague, Mike Schiller, and he taught 5th grade science for quite a long time. Actually, he's now moved to a different school teaching 8th graders, and he's real happy with that. But when he taught 5th grade in my school, he was an extremely popular science teacher, and the kids all loved him. And one of the things that he would do is a flipped classroom. So here I have a couple of links, and this is also in Canvas for you. But here's the flip video of an example of one of the videos that he would do. I think, if I remember right, it's a circulatory system. And then this is the worksheet that would have gone with that video. So he would send this home with the kids and the video, and they would complete that at home. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and take a look at that. And hopefully these links all work. They worked all last year for me, and I just checked them again. They work for me. Hopefully they still work for outside people. And if anything doesn't work right away, let me know. So you're going to be going into Thing 20, and you are going to be looking at making your own video. I would like you to take that video and assign it or put it up into Canvas in the discussion. All right, so I've set this up as a discussion. Hopefully this will work right. Again, like I said, I'm very much used to using Google Classroom. I've tried to figure this out in Canvas. It looks like it's going to let you, and you guys probably all know much better than I do, this will let you upload a video here, and then I want you to comment on 2 others if possible. And I'd like us to try to get the video part of it uploaded midweek-ish, kind of, so that you have time to actually comment on 2 others. Skip direction number 3 in the assignment. Direction number 3 tells you to embed it in some web page that you've made, blah, blah, blah. We haven't done that. So upload it right here. And remember, when it talks about the portfolio that you're uploading, really that just means all the classwork that you've done on Canvas put together. We aren't creating a separate portfolio, although you certainly could if you wanted to. Also in Classroom, this will be a live link when you see it to the video you're watching right now. And then right here is the PowerPoint that we just looked at that has the links in it in case you'd like to see how those look. And I hope that'll do it for you, and I will see you next week.